they expand our view, they expand our horizon. And I feel that's what has happened for the past 2 days. So let's see some of the highlights of what has happened. Let me invite now the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Olivier Kamana. Welcome, and let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. I'll ask to the technical team to also project what he will be reading. Thank you. Team.
Thank you, Eric. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests and participants, allow me to present to you the key findings, the outcomes of those 2 days of discussions for this knowledge sharing seminar. We've interacted, we exchanged, and now it's time to present to you the summarized points giving us the next direction for the development of PSTA5. The statements on the outcomes of this seminar are based on the 6 pillars of this workshop. The first one is nutrition. The second one is climate resilient crop and livestock production. The third one is agriculture finance. The fourth one is trade and value chain development. The fifth one is food systems planning and knowledge management. And finally, the digitalization of the agriculture sector. For each pillar, I'm going to be presenting the challenges and the recommendations related. For the first one, nutrition, the challenges that we have identified are first, the triple burden of malnutrition. As you know, Rwanda faces challenges with stunting, anemia, and rising obesity. And then economic impact of malnutrition, given that there is an increase in GDP that does not seem to be proportionately reducing the prevalence of malnutrition. This raises the need for emphasis on a separate and targeted nutrition programs. Gender disparities, as there is a disproportionate impact of malnutrition on boys compared to girls, and understanding the reasons behind this disparity is crucial. Market access and affordability. Nutritious foods, especially animal protein sources, are often more expensive, making them less accessible to the community and households. Policy alignment and food processing. There is a need to align our policies to ensure they contribute to a better nutrition and address climate change concerns effectively. Concerns were also raised about the potential negative impacts of food processing on the investing in research for innovation. We need to prioritize research as a key driver of innovation in addressing nutritional challenges and engage the private sector. We need also to foster an environment that encourages innovation in the agriculture and food sectors, particularly innovations that create and meet the demand for nutritious foods. The next recommendation is to have a child-centric agriculture food system. We need to design and implement an agriculture food system that prioritizes the nutritional needs of children. We need also to enhance fruits, vegetable, and safe whole grain and protein intake in schools, as well as whole grain foods. This will be done by encouraging schools to enhance the intake of fruits, vegetables, and whole grain flours by creating visually appealing and nutritious meals. We recommend also that we need to achieve self-reliance in food security by striving for self-reliance in food security, emphasizing the importance of local production to meet nutritional needs of the population. And lastly, we need to promote nutritional knowledge by emphasizing the importance of nutrition education, raising awareness about the benefits of nutritious foods, and integrate nutrition education into formal education curricula. The second pillar is on climate resilient crop and livestock production. The challenges that we've identified in this pillar are, first, the vulnerability of crop and animal production to climate change. As we know, crop production is vulnerable to climate change due to factors such as high population density, uncertain water patterns, and lack of water and soil erosion risks. We've also identified limited access to irrigation, given that only 14% of the farmers have access to some form of irrigation, highlighting the pressing issue on irrigation. Another challenge is mindset. There are mindset issues that hinder the adoption of climate-smart agriculture practices, such as choosing crops that maximize food productivity, nutritiously and quantitatively, and addressing problems like stunting and malnutrition. The other challenge is knowledge and skills regarding climate resilient and conservation agriculture. Extension and research system do not currently geared toward climate adaptation. We have also identified an issue in coordination, given that there is a coordination issue among various agencies responsible for watershed planning and implementation, which hampers the integrated watershed approach for climate-smart agriculture. Indeed, we cannot identify challenges without mentioning the financial constraints, even though we have another pillar that is specifically dedicated to finance. But access to finance is a major challenge for farmers, with a low percentage having loans, despite the sector's contribution to the GDP. And finally, land fragmentation complicates the solutions. What we recommend in this pillar? First, we recommend that we need to incorporate climate-smart practices, given that it is important to incorporate climate-smart practices into the extension system and prioritize these practices as the crop level to enhance resilience and sustainability. Second, we recommend to embrace conservation agriculture practices by emphasizing the importance of conservation agriculture practices such as tillage, mulching, crop rotation, and integrated nutrient management for sustainable food security. Another recommendation is on climate resilience for animal feed. We needed to promote drought-resistant and low-emission animal feeds, for example, brachiaria and black soldier flies. Another recommendation is on integrated watershed approach. We need to adopt an integrated watershed approach that considers both livestock and crops, treating the watershed as an integral whole to address climate-smart agriculture in a holistic way. We need also to establish solutions that can be centered in agro-hubs. And then research and development is also foreseen as another solution. We need to invest in R&D to develop technologies that will help to adapt to climate change and promote climate-smart agriculture. We recommend also the pilot innovations and consider scalability. As research moves fast, adopting and scaling new technologies will be key for rapid transition. We need also financial innovation, seeing that financial institutions should invest in innovation and develop new financial risk instruments to support climate-resilient agriculture innovation. There is a need to foster collaboration between governments and financial institutions, given that this is crucial in developing tailored products and capacity building programs for our farmers. Then, capacity building also is recommended in order to enhance the capacities and capabilities of farmers through training and support in business practices and extension services. Finally, gender and youth inclusivity. We need to recognize the specific impact of climate change on women and include them for higher impact on agricultural practices. The third pillar is on agriculture finance. The challenges that were identified in this pillar are first, the risk perception and accessibility. Agriculture is often perceived as a high-risk sector, deterring financial institutions from lending. Smallholder farmers, in particular, struggle to get access to credit. Then we have high interest rates, given that the cost of borrowing for agricultural purposes is typically high, which can be prohibitive for farmers, most of the farmers actually. Then we have collateral requirements. Traditional banking systems often require collateral that farmers may not possess. We have also identified the seasonal income and cash flow issues The seasonal nature of agriculture leads to cash flow challenges, making it difficult for farmers to meet repayment schedules aligned with traditional loan products. Then we've identified a challenge related to the lack of tailored financial products. Financial products often do not align with the specific needs and cycles of agricultural activities. Another challenge is the insurance uptake and trust. There is a low uptake of insurance products in agriculture, partly due to trust issues and past experiences where insurance products were not sustained after project cycles. We have also another challenge, that is the knowledge and skills gaps, seeing that farmers often lack the business skills and knowledge required to access and effectively use financial services. Finally, we have limited data and technology use. This data issue will also come in subsequent pillars, especially the pillar on adoption of technologies. So inadequate use of data and technology in creating and distributing financial products hampers efficiency and targeted service delivery. The solutions then. The first one is de-risking and government subsidies. We need to implement government-backed schemes to subsidize and de-risk agriculture, making it a more attractive sector for investment. We propose also to have a tailored financial products, several financial products, and this requires that financial organs should develop financial products specifically designed for the agriculture sector, considering their unique characteristics and cycles. Then we have innovative insurance products. We need to create and sustain innovative insurance products tailored to the needs of the agriculture sector. We recommend also the utilization of technology and data, as it's now a must to leverage technology to improve access to finance, enhance product delivery, and make informed decisions based on robust data. We also recommend farmer education and capacity building that must be also continuous, as we need to educate farmers on financial management, insurance, and best agricultural practices to increase their ability to access and use financial services effectively. We recommend also that we should have collaborative efforts and partnerships by building partnerships among various stakeholders, including governments, financial institutions, and farmers, to develop comprehensive solutions. Regulatory support and innovations are also foreseen as some solutions to encourage regulatory frameworks that support agricultural financing and allow for innovative financial solutions. We also recommend to promote savings and financial literacy, as encouraging farmers to save and educating them on financial literacy to increase their financial financial inclusion can be also another solution. The fourth pillar is trade and value chain development. The challenges that we've identified: first, the inadequate infrastructure. We face a lack of sufficient infrastructure to support horticulture especially, and other agricultural exports. We have climate vulnerability. The sector is being significantly affected by climate variability and extreme weather events. We have post-harvest losses and quality issues. We know that high losses in fresh foods are impacting both quantity and quality of available food for trade. We have information gaps, the lack of adequate market and trade information for informed decision-making. We have limited understanding of market dynamics. We've noticed the difficulty in navigating and adapting to the complex dynamics of market systems. We've identified also capacity and knowledge gaps, as financial institutions and farmers often lack the knowledge and capacity to effectively engage in the market. Challenges were also identified in forming productive alliances. We've seen that there are difficulties in forming alliances for collaborative market facilitation and trade. And finally, limited inclusivity in market systems, seeing that there is a difficulty in integrating various agricultural commodities into domestic, regional, and international markets. The related solutions are, first, Market and trade information systems, we need to implement robust information systems, a system that can provide accurate market and trade data, and we need also to strengthen ability to identify export opportunities. Second, we recommend to consolidate production and infrastructure geared toward meeting quantity and quality standards, including feeder rods. We recommend also to upgrade farmer organization models and models for aggregation. Another recommendation is capacity building. We need to enhance the capacity and the knowledge of financial institutions and farmers to engage effectively in the market. We also recommend to form productive alliances by encouraging collaborators between various stakeholders for effective market facilitation, and we recommend to diversify cropping and food fortification. We need to use diversified cropping and food fortification as strategies against market shocks. The next pillar is food systems, planning and knowledge management. The challenges are first coordination, as we have a need for effective coordination among various stakeholders and institutions involved in the food system. We've also identified the policy coherence. We need to ensure that policy coherence across different sectors to support food system goals is solved, given that it is a challenge. The extension system also entails a challenge that is linked to developing an effective extension system to pilot and scale solutions across the country. Then we have watershed planning. There is a coordination issue among various agencies responsible, as mentioned earlier, for watershed planning and implementation within the country. And then, as also mentioned earlier, financial support, as financial institutions are hesitant and reluctant to support farmers, and this poses a challenge to agricultural development. We've come up with related recommendations. First, we recommend to establish a food systems coordination unit. There is a need to develop a proposal to establish a food systems coordination unit to manage overlapping indicators and mandates. We recommend that food systems capacity building programs across government institutions should be put in place. For example, policy learning program in partnership with FAO and other partners that will happen soon. We recommend also the development of food systems budget and dashboard. We need to develop a food systems budget and a dashboard that will allow us to track and manage food system finances and data with measurable targets and indicators. We recommend also to strengthen coordination and governance. The mechanism for that will be designed to streamline digitalization in the agriculture sector. For example, we need to adopt an integrated watershed approach that considers both livestock and crops and addressing coordination issues among responsible agencies. We recommend also the collaboration and partnerships by emphasizing on collaboration between different stakeholders, and this must include governments, private sectors, and UN agencies to build resilient food systems. And finally, involvement of youth, women, and retirees in policy formulation. The last one is digitalization of agriculture sector. The challenges that we have noticed that are encountered so far are first, technology adoption and usage. Our farmers need to be able to understand and effectively use digital tools. There is a significant gap in technology adoption, especially among older farmers, and many lack the necessary skills. Then, data collection and accessibility. We need an effective data collection that we need also to establish systems for data dissemination. And we need to ensure that the right data reaches the right people at the right time. Then youth and gender engagement. We need to engage youth and women in digital agriculture since this is crucial but challenging. There is a need to create more opportunities and resources for these groups. Then integration with existing systems. There is a need for digital systems to connect and communicate with each other for effective data analytics and decision making. Digital infrastructure development by building and enhancing digital infrastructure for agriculture is essential. This includes developing platforms for information and sharing and management. Capacity building. Many farmers are new to technology, and there is a need for widespread education and sensitization about digital tools. Inclusivity and accessibility. Bridging gender and non-gender disparities in access to digital resources and technologies is a significant challenge. And also a challenge was noticed on risk mitigation. Addressing the risks associated with digitalization, such as data security and potential misuse of technology, is important. Policy and governance, last challenge. Coordinating and governing the entire agriculture sector with respect to digitalization poses a challenge, including aligning policies with technological advancements. Then, solutions. We need to have innovative agricultural practices by leveraging digitalization for innovative practices, such as weather forecasting, precision agriculture, and soil mapping. Second, youth-focused initiatives by investing in youth and their ability to use and develop technology for agriculture. And we recommend also the encouragement of their effective participation in digital agriculture. Another solution is smart solution, to adopt smart solutions and artificial intelligence. Using AI and smart solutions to optimize resources allocation and agriculture extension efforts is key. Capacity building programs. We need to implement programs like the Digital Ambassador Program to train and empower young people in digital agriculture. Data-driven decision-making is very important, and it emphasizes on the importance of data in agricultural decision-making and policy formulation. And we hope that during the development of PSTA5, we will make some decisions that will be driven by previously consulted and crunched data. Public-private partnerships, engaging the private sector and leveraging public-private partnerships to scale digitalization efforts and enhance agricultural productivity. And then another solution is the development of sustainable development and innovation by focusing on sustainable development and promoting innovators that cater to the diverse needs of farmers, including non-youth segments. Inclusive design and tailored solutions. We need to design digital solutions that are tailored to the needs of farmers, ensuring relevance and practicality of end users. Last, we recommend governance frameworks by developing governance frameworks that can oversee digital initiatives and ensure that they align with national strategies and policies. Muri make, ni ibi twaganiriye, ni ibyaturutse mu biganiro twagiranye muri minsi ibiri. Bivuze ko hari ugize ikindi gitekerezo nyuma nabwo yatwegera tukareba koko niba ntaho kijya muri ibi. Muri make no kuvuga ngo ibyo twaganiye byose hari ibijyanye ni kuboneza imirire, twagaragaje imbogamizi ndetse tugaragaza n'ibisubizo twabona tuzagenderaho nyine mu gukora iyi gahunda ya PSTA5. Ingingo ya kabiri ni irebana n'imihindagurikire y'ikirere ndetse n'ingaruka biteza ku buhinzi n'ubworozi. Ingingo ya gatatu yari birebana n'uburyo abahinzi ndetse n'aborozi babasha kubona ubushobozi ndetse n'amafaranga n'ibijyana nabyo kugira ngo batere imbere. Ingingo ya kane ni ibijyanye n'uruhererekane nyongeragaciro muri rusange. Ya gatanu ni ibijyanye na food systems ndetse n'uburyo abahigenamigambi ndetse no kusangira ubumenyi. Hanyuma ya gatandatu yari ijyanye n'ikorana buhanga. Muri make nibyo twaganiriyeho, twagiye tugaragaza nkuko nari mbivuze imbogamizi ndetse n'ibisubizo. Twari tubivuze mu rurimi rw'icyongereza kugira ngo bagenzi bacu wenda batasobanukiwe neza bamenye muri make uko byari bihagaze, ariko tuzakomeza tugende tuganira no mu minsi iri imbere. murakoze.
Thank you, PS. Thank you for this clear presentation, energetic presentation as well. It was long, but you made it. Before we take some feedback from the audience, I want to anticipate one, which I heard since yesterday. Someone told me a bit dramatically, like, Eric, my phone is suffering. I've been taking pictures of PowerPoints, some of them unreadable. So how can you help us? So we wanted to help you. On your table, you will see an attendance list, which gives you the opportunity to write your email. So please write your contacts. What we will do, we will take all the presentation that we did in side session, in plenary, as well as the summary that the PS has presented today, and the team will be sending it to you sometime next week. The only request that I have, having worked with email and sending to people, I will just ask people to respect the rule of calligraphy as you write your email, just to ascertain that the documentation reach your respective inbox, not someone else. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But now I would like to open the floor for those who have any feedback. I mean, the presentation was really exhaustive and touched so many points, but if you have like a point or two you feel that you wanted to be captured by the rapporteur, they are here sitting, please let us know. We want to take it before we continue with the session. One or two hands. Yes, see the first one. Thank you. There's a microphone coming. Thank you. Can you introduce yourself and then be brief so that we can go to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable PS, and thank you, moderator, for giving me the floor. I'm Alexandre Nzeimana from ActionAid Rwanda. And yesterday during a side meeting we had, there was an issue about youth being majority. I mean, they are also an active labor force in agriculture, and they have specific challenges in interacting with agriculture, because for them it's a challenge to really do it as a business, because there is going to become a problem for them to afford collateral when they don't have this kind of other assets. So I think we could have one of the elements regarding how to really support them, or maybe to shape a model whereby youth can also actively get involved in agriculture, like the inclusive approach. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Point taken. Yes, microphone going around. Yes, let's take on this table and then going back here.
Thank you, and we liked the comprehensiveness of this report and every element that will really contribute to the future we are looking into the agriculture sector. I'm just standing on the side of the local government authorities and the efforts that may be somehow cross-cutting in nature, especially the active role of local governments in mobilization. Mobilization, one, for mindset change, because I think we are challenged by Honorable Moss saying that someone having more than 20 hectares and still needing some kind of financial support somewhere to get a baler, to get something else. So there is something that needs to be engaged in local government, that together with line ministries, that is Minagri, and partners, we engage more in mobilization. Mindset change into business-oriented agriculture, because at the end of the story, even if we have the food security, the one producing it is the one who is getting more returns than anyone else. Another thing would be somehow related to access to finance. Still, the engagement of local government will be needed there. Even if banks are looking into the security of their funds before they get out, but still having that assurance that even if we don't have those collaterals, as my colleague has just said, still investment can be done, still financial injection can be secured, still returns can be brought back to the owner of the money. I think we need to put something like a cross-cutting collaboration between the local government authorities, between the finance, between the agriculture sector in general, to see that that gap is also bridged. That was my inputs in that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Point on the local government taken. We continue.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin from the Netherlands Embassy. I just have 3 points to add. Thank you very much for the presentation. First of all is about access to finance. I think what needs to be emphasized, and an intervention that we're really doing, is de-risking, and specifically on loan portfolio guarantees. So we currently are providing 10 million USD to I&M Bank that goes towards the existing portfolio, which they're able now to lend directly to smallholder farmers and women and youth-led enterprises. So that part of loan portfolio guarantees, and this is being done through the Dutch Entrepreneurial Bank, and it's the first of its kind in Rwanda. We had a very lengthy time with the Central Bank of Rwanda in them accepting and eventually rolling this out. So this can be scaled to other banks. So what it does is that it ticks the box on no requirement for collateral, and then also ease of access to credit to the smallholder farmers. Tying into that is also first loss cover. We have that through an organization called ASELI, again, which is funded by the Dutch government. So what it does is that the first loss cover ensures that cover up to 80% of the loan that is being accessed by the farmer, which again reduces the hurdles about collateral, and which is quite mandatory within the financial sector. Secondly, it also has loan origination incentives, which goes towards ensuring that employees within the banking sector are able to take a keen eye on ensuring that they're able to have these loans from the farmers come in. And then thirdly, it also has incentives on sustainability, issues about climate change, about ensuring the inclusiveness of women and youth in the cooperative or in the MSME or the SME that that particular agricultural company is involved in. And then secondly is on elements of private sector financing. I think we need to be very deliberate about that, a more involvement of the private sector. And how that can be done, and we're already doing it through a Dutch company called Moneyphone, is easing the requirements and the processes when it comes to getting a non-depository lending license, digital lending license. The Dutch company is the first company in Rwanda to get this non-depository digital lending license. So this can be scaled, and how it can be scaled will enable now other private sector players to come in that space and to offer direct digital lending to the smallholder farmers. They're already doing this in Nyabihu with the carrot farmers there within the cooperatives, and also the potato farmers in Musanze. Already $250,000 has already been directly lent to the farmers, so this can be scaled, and which is very much needed. So ease of getting this license is very much needed. So it can be quicker, it can be faster, because within the private sector, time is money. So if it's going to take a very lengthy process, then they eventually do get discouraged. And then last but not least is on a concept that we have, which we have done successfully with the IPRC's universities here, which is called a triple helix model. So that brings government, private sector, and academia. And I'm glad to see some of the principals here from IPRC. Now we have this service training and innovation centers in a couple of the critical agricultural value chains in Rwanda, specifically in the dairy sector. We also have in the chicken. We also have in horticulture and agrotourism. So again, this can be scaled further, because what it does is that it eventually creates economic hubs across the provinces and across the districts, because you have government, private sector and academia coming together to create that enabling ecosystem for transfer of knowledge, skills, innovation, and then it also ensures that the private sector is able to pass the skills to the students in the IPRCs so that they can be able to now have that real life working experience. And then by extension, it also empowers the cooperative, the smallholder farmers, because they're able to benefit from the knowledge and expertise that is within that triple helix model. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin, for the inputs. Yes. And then I'm coming here. Your name and summary points. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm called John Kayumba, RAB staff. On the issues that were mentioned that are still hindering agriculture, I want to mention the things concerning the loads in rural areas. When we move across in the Eastern Province, for instance, we find that there is vibrant agricultural activities taking place there. Many people want to come to invest, but in some areas when you visit them, you find that poor roads can be a challenge to investors. Even these poor roads are causing a lot of adverse effects on agriculture development, as even the post-harvest losses. A lot of post-harvest losses are caused by loads, as a lot of production is being dropped along the way after the harvest. Again, fortunately, recently the Honorable Minister of Agriculture visited a farmer in Nyagatare. That farmer had a very good zero grazing farming with 200 cows in the cow shed, but the loads to reach there were really a problem, where the farmer said that the milk production from his cows reaching the MCC, the Milk Collection Center, can reach there when the milk has already gone bad. So here, I think whether on agriculture, crop, or livestock, if we cannot think about roads, I think this one will discourage a lot of investments in rural areas. The transporters will be discouraged, and without transport, I think the farmers will not be motivated to do what they are doing with zeal, with a lot of investment. It will remain somehow subsistent because they don't have that inner zeal of investing more, expecting more, because the transporters cannot reach there. A lot of losses that can happen due to that issue of poor roads. Thank you.
Thank you very much for RAB, emphasis on feeder roads. It's taking.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Dusabe. I work for the Ministry of Public Service and Labor. We recognize the contribution of agriculture sector in employing more people in Rwanda. So I want to come back on the standards of the production, the standard, because if the production does not have standards, it is very hard for them to get the market. And as you know, our farmers are facing with the issue of the market, while some big agro industries and even big hotels are reporting foods across the region. So for us to make agriculture productive, we need to have standard in productions. We need to put more efforts on standards so that we can reduce the import of foods across the region, while our farmers are facing the issue of the market. The other things is there is a need of a win-win strategy between farmers and traders in the agriculture value chain, because when you look on price, traders benefit more money in agriculture production comparing to what farmers are getting from all their efforts. And also we need agribusiness investment facility to help young graduates who might contribute in agribusiness through innovative and transformative business project in agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the points. I would like to present Dr. Vicky. And then
yeah, thank you so much. I'm called Vicky. I'm a scientist from RAP. I've seen in the presentation two things which didn't appear, which I consider they should be also considered in the next PSTA5. One is on soil fertility. It is a big challenge, soil fertility decline. It is a common challenge for the country, which should be considered over all the strategies of the sector. The second one, we are now experiencing emergence of pests in this era of climate change. I didn't see also reflected in the recommendation, so I consider it should be also considered as one of the points for the strategy. Thank you.
thank you. 2 or 3 more people. First one, then we'll take the second and then third.
Thank you. My name is Jean de Dieu, Director of Agriculture and Natural Resource, Burera District. To be quick, we are saying and wish to have the agriculture productivity by multiplying 80% or over a trends we are. So, but I didn't see exactly which are the drivers to multiply this productivity. I mean here, for instance, if we want to achieve, if we are at 20 tons of productivity on Irish potatoes, we are assuming and wish to reach at 40 tons. Which are drivers there, put it there, the approach or the strategy, and even the methodology to reach there. The same to other productivity increase, wheat, beans, and so on. It's what I would like to see there. So I thought we would have some measures taken or strategy as we continue to foster in our country the industry for fertilizers, the other technologies to be mentioned there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Point is taken in terms of how to do things need to be included in the future strategy. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity that we've had to share our ideas. There is something that was not captured during the discussions, and it is very pertinent. In the agriculture sector, we need labor. And you find that people who give agriculture labor services are not protected at all. Herdsmen, people who do farming for farmers are not talked about in this context. So how can we tackle that problem is supposed to be looked into. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Two other people, and then we continue and close the Q&A session. But as I told you, we have rapporteurs. So if you want to give more input, you have email. So do not hesitate to reach to one of that. Yes. Well, from Koika, then we end here.
Thank you so much, Eric. I want to challenge everyone, and maybe this will be captured during the PSTA5 in terms of food waste. Yesterday, I think it's Sean who mentioned, when we think about food producers, we need also to think about consumers. How to change the behavior of consumers so that the food produced will be not waste from farm to table, but also as food waste on the table. And whenever we consume the food, we can also think about farmers. Everyone might not be food producer, but can be food consumer. It can be also captured during the output of this meeting to think about how can we reduce food loss during production, post-harvest, but also change the mindset in terms of reducing food waste, even on the table. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Guillaume Nyagatele from the College of Agriculture. And first I have to thank PS Kamana for the very comprehensive report that has given. Now that we are going to start PSTA5, I think that it is time for us to reassess the involvement of hardening institutions in this PSTA5. Because if I look at the previous PSTA that we got in the country, I have to recognize that our role as University of Rwanda, and I believe other universities that may be around, has been relatively marginal. And I think that if going to address many of the points that were mentioned there, the hardening institutions and the MOUs that have been putting together in the past have now to be implemented. So the question I'm asking myself is, how are we going to do things differently this time to ensure that this is done? Because if we say youth empowerment, women, farmers, we already are doing some of this, but how can we do it better? And if we talk about partnership between us and RAB, for instance, and I know that we've been discussing this many times, how can we now, when we have access to research stations, how we make sure that somehow when we design research that we need to do, that we do it together, without really in a sometimes competitive way, but rather in a complementary way. And I would like to see, as we go into, and I know that my brother Pacific is also going to mention that, how can we create synergies between all these universities in agriculture? I'm thinking of us in CAVEM, RICA, and others. How can we make sure that we be aligned with PSTA5 better than we have done in the past? And I think I won't need to say more, because many things I believe in this report are implicitly there, but we need to find a way to unlock and to unfold all the things so that we become better for this one. Thank you.
Thank you for attracting our attention to universities as well and the academy. I know there's many hands that keep being raised, but because we are on a tight schedule, so I will go to the next one. But what I would like to do for you is once again to ask the team of rapporteurs of the PSTA5 if you can please stand up where you are on the table. The team that is helping us to collect all the data points, please, can you stand up? Yes, please. Thank you. So as you see them, these are the people who are taking notes. Some of the feeling that I had as we went through the room, some idea were new, but some. So maybe if you feel that your nuance is not captured, although we have written that, please approach them and speak with them so that the way you want it to be expressed or understood can also be captured. Thank you. So we'll go for the next phase as we're now wrapping up. I would like to invite some members of the PSTA5 nucleus team. So for those who want to have a background, when we started this initiative of developing the PSTA5, usually we needed to be in collaboration. So first internally, within the ministry, with the agency, and with other sister ministries, but also we bring along the DPs, the development partners, to help us. But because the development partners are many and a large community, there is a small group of them called the nucleus of DP who have joined the team to help us carry this work to the end. And among them, there will be some members who will be speaking on behalf of the others, just to give you a sense of the commitment in helping not only the development of the PSTA5, but also the implementation, because at the end, it's not only a good document that we need in our shelves, but it's one that is implementable. And it can only be implemented not only if the ministry is engaged, but also if our partners are engaged. For that, I would like to invite the first one from MasterCard Foundation, Dr. Elise Kamanzi, Program Lead, Agriculture. Thank you. Let's welcome with a round of applause.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I like to hear it. So, Honorable Minister and distinguished guests, all protocol observed. I don't want to really name everyone so that I don't forget any. It's my pleasure standing here just representing the MasterCard Foundation. I'm here on behalf of the country director who was not able to make it because he has he's attending currently a global leadership meeting out of the country. Otherwise, he would have been really pleased to be part of this conversation. My name is Elise Kamanzi, as Eric has said, and I lead the agri-food systems within the foundation. Just talking a little bit about the agri-food systems within the foundation, so that to give you just a picture of how we can complement and how we are committed to supporting this PSTA5 going forward. It's a large unit sitting within our Pan-African programs. And talking of the Pan-African programs, it's just one of the 3 delivery mechanisms that we have within the foundation, supporting different areas of intervention. And agriculture and agri-food system plus climate change is one of the core departments within the MasterCard Foundation. And it's likely to be even the largest because we believe, given our focus on Africa, given our focus on young people, then agriculture is by far the largest opportunity for employment of young people, but also for entrepreneurship when it comes to young people. We have a special focus on young women, being the driver of economic change and economic transformation. So we believe agriculture still holds potential. But we acknowledge as well that agriculture has risks. And we have been discussing about risks, climate-related risks, inability to finance, risk related to the profile of the farmers. So without going into each and every individual structural barrier, we are committed through our agri-food system and climate change unit to supporting the PSTA5 from start to end, and even going beyond when we will have transitioned and transformed the food systems as a whole in the country. The support that we will be providing, I think, as we are on this journey of thinking about what are the key pillars, and honestly, I think from the proceedings of these 2 days that we have been here co-creating, listening to each other, I think most of it is covered. All that is remaining is really identifying where we can, support and make a difference. One of the MasterCard Foundation's values is listening. And we listen deeply to propose solutions that align to the real issues. And I want to commit here on behalf of my organization and the agri-food systems within the MasterCard Foundation that we have listened through the 2 days that we have spent together. The outcomes are so clear, really elaborate, and from just that perspective of listening, I have highlighted 3 areas that we can, as the MasterCard Foundation, support. One is on speed of interventions. Why do I say speed of interventions? Throughout the conversations, through the presentations from different speakers, we have seen that if nothing is done differently, then what happens is GDP targets of 2050 will not be achieved. So we need to accelerate. We want to support PSTA5 in accelerating towards achieving critical milestones. Does it require resources? We are ready to commit in terms of resources with target investments. But as we have been also discussing, resources is not everything. Capacity, then environment. Coordination has been one of the key critical areas that have been identified to be really central to the success of PSTA5. And that really aligns with the strategy of the MasterCard Foundation within the Agri-Food Systems unit. We want to contribute our share in enabling efficient, effective collaboration among stakeholders within the agri-food systems. That will trickle from continental pillars to country pillars. And if we do that, we strongly believe that not only speed will be achieved, but also we will be agile to respond when responding is required. But agility has also prerequisites. So if we want to be agile, we need to invest in quality information. That is something that we have been really discussing during the 2 days. If we want to be agile and speedy, then we need to have timely, quality, and reliable data. I will just echo what one of the presenters yesterday said. We need data before we need them, right? So we will support the PSTA5 in the endeavor of availing data for decision making. Third, but not small, it's not least, it's scalability. It's something we have been discussing as well. And before I talk to it clearly, I want just to highlight the fact that sometimes we don't need to reinvent the wheel. When we speak of innovation, innovation doesn't always entail coming up with new ideas. It might be, but not necessarily. So innovation is also about just tweaking what was being done and doing it differently. But as we have said, when you do it in small pieces, the sustainability, the survival rate is small. We have had over the past in the agri-food systems models that have proven to be successful, but have not survived the test of time because they were implemented in small scales that they ended up disappearing. So we are committed to supporting working models and taking them to scale. By the way, through our Pan-African platform, that is one of the core purpose. We scale what works and we take it to a level where it will be self-driven. I want to head towards the end of my commitment remarks by ensuring that as we start this journey together, the MasterCard Foundation, beyond listening, it also has, well, we have 6 ways of programming, but I want just to focus on 2. Listening, I've spoken about it. So let me just bring about a second one. We are bold, honestly. We are not afraid of coming up with crazy ideas, as long as those crazy ideas will result into opportunities for young people. So with that, Honorable Minister, I want to reiterate the commitment of the MasterCard Foundation going forward. We have been together thinking through this knowledge sharing seminar. We have been part of the Nucleus Committee, and we want to stay on board as active participants. And with the support of our Pan-African team, we will take this to scale where needed. Of course, we will not do it alone, but with other stakeholders in the room. Without pointing a finger, just want to stop there. And thank you again for having allowed the MasterCard Foundation to be part of this journey. We are a young organization, basically, within the agri-food system, but we are drawing learning from the past, because interventions in agri-food system have just not started yesterday. They have been there for long, so we are drawing from successful models and taking them forward. Thank you very much, and looking forward to really operationalizing this strategy, finalizing it first, operationalizing it, and maybe before that, launching it anytime in June next year. Okay, thank you.
Thank you again for the MasterCard Foundation commitment for PSTA5 development and implementation. I would like to call now to the second partner, Jean-Paul Ndagijimana, Country Director of AGRA, Rwanda. Let's welcome him as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Honorable Minister and distinguished guest, I'm really very happy because I remember when the Honorable Minister called us in Marriott a few months back, we pledged our support and committed to walk the journey with him. And this is one of the milestones where a draft 0 is out, coming not from a desk review, but from a wide consultation. Thank you, Chantal, for a good job and your team. And we echo what MasterCard said, continue to work with you and see it to launch and even execution. But to be precise, because I like being specific, I've listened, and there are a few areas that I want to put on the table as the drafters continue and want to dig deeper or even get some indicative targets of what may come. When we launched our 5-year strategy, we were very intentional that AGRA would be focusing on the food system. And when I saw the ministry also taking an approach of food system, there was an immediate alignment between AGRA in Rwanda and what the government want to do. And out of the areas mentioned by the PS, the first area we hope to continue working with you, Honorable Minister, and other partners, is the area of nutrition. We are aware we are still above over 25%, actually a quarter of Rwandans are still fighting with malnutrition and stunting. And we have, in our next 5-year strategy, committed to continue our support to RAB in breeding and putting on market nutrition-sensitive varieties, especially by joining hands with other CG centers such as SIAT, Harvest Plus, and others, to make sure the fortified beans, orange sweet potato, seeds, and other areas that will help fight malnutrition are available and are able to be multiplied locally and adopted by Rwandans. We are also joining hands with other players especially an initiative funded by USAID called Gikuriro Kuri Bose, to make sure when those seeds are available, they are adopted also by those who need them most, because that project focus on nutrition. The other area we have committed to work with the ministry is to attract many young people into agriculture. We have been bold and put a number. We hope, with God's help and working with all of you, 5 years from now, we'll have over 100,000 young Rwandans making money out of agriculture. And we want to make sure those are not only the educated ones, but also the uneducated, and even those dealing with disabilities or refugees. So we're intentional. 70%, God willing, will be women, and 5% will be those that need special attention. In the area of market, we have made a resolution, as you have seen in our strategy launch, that will not encourage any Rwandan to cultivate large scale when he's not sure the market has been secured. We are working again with other good initiatives that are in the country, like Hingawunguke and others, with the help of DFID, putting money into making sure the domestic, regional, continental, and international markets are captured, and that the major beneficiary of that are young Rwandans. In the area of access to finance, you may be aware we have been working with the financial institutions to bring finance down to the smallholder farmers. We've tapped into SNS that currently has over 2 million farmers. We are almost at the end of piloting a product where SACCOs will be able to lend to farmers based on the data that is already available in the SNS system. And from my discussion with BK, the pilot is proving successful, where even people without a phone can use a key fob to access funding. We have also committed, Peter from RCA put me on spot yesterday, but what he said is true. We've committed significant amount to organize the cooperatives in Rwanda. We don't want all of them to be treated equally, so we've launched an assessment where they will be categorized and then linked to finance based on their muscle and their needs. And we want, especially cooperative in the rural area, to get finance from the SACCOs and institutions that are closer to them, as opposed to the traditional of going to the major banks. On the area of climate change, it's a big area of interest for AGRA, and we have committed to put funds into mitigation and adaptation. And one of the area we are focusing on here, Vicky, is to make sure that farmers are informed not only on the health of their soil, but also on the changing weather pattern that can affect or even take away good input they may have put in the land. So we will be continuing our efforts and also continue to work with RAB to make available varieties that can yield in the shortest available time. I think we have already achieved some varieties in Rwanda of maize that can mature in less than 4 months, coming from 7 months in the high altitude. So we'll continue knowing that the window of planting, especially the second season B, gets shorter. Research also is ahead to make available seeds that can still give farmers good yields with the changing pattern. On the food system coordination unit, we are committed, and in fact I want to put even a timeline. We hope, Chantal, by the end of Q1, we'll have secured a consultant and set up the unit to make sure we are working together in synchrony, and that information that in RGB, private sector, other government are centralized for better decision making. I'm pleased to be joined here by Paul Tangata, who is our lead in data and analytics, who will help to kind of put together some starting point for that unit with a launch by Q1 2024. I can go on and on, but I think what I would say, because I like accountability, and you're in a country where when you say something, you need to do it. When I look at the budget AGRA want to put towards the execution of PSTA5 and the leverage of other partners, USAID, MasterCard, DFID, BMGF, and others, we hope we'll be putting about, directly and indirectly, close to 200 million toward execution of PSTA5. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jean-Paul from AGRA, for the commitment and for still being one of the reliable partners among many. Thank you. As we continue on the list of our partners, now we're turning toward USAID. I would like to invite Ms. Jessica Torrance-Spencer, USAID Director of the Office of the Economic Growth in Rwanda, and I hope it's not too late to say happy belated Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests and participants, all protocols observed. My name is Jessica Torrance-Spence. As mentioned, I'm the director of the USAID Economic Growth Office. First, I would really like to start by congratulating Minagri for organizing this very impactful knowledge-sharing seminar. Many transformative ideas have been presented and discussed for incorporation into PSTA5. USAID is very excited and grateful to be part of this innovative food systems approach process to developing PSTA5. The US government, via USAID, is very happy to support the process through our activities, present and future. We look forward to continuing our strong partnership and collaboration to help Rwanda's agriculture sector grow. I would also like to commend Minagri and the government of Rwanda for investing such effort in planning and strategy for the development of the agriculture sector. In the discussions of the last few days, I was pleased also to see such a strong focus on nutrition and climate resilience in addition to agricultural productivity. Those are areas that USAID also strongly prioritizes, and I'm happy that we have such good alignment there. I won't go into the details of all of our activities. We have 5 or 6 projects that we support through various mechanisms with partners, and of course our greatest partner, our most important partner, is the government of Rwanda. But suffice it to say that all of the priority areas that were identified during this session presented on the screen are priority areas of USAID as well, and where we actively have projects and activities working, strongly collaborating with the government. So I will keep my remarks short, but just wanted to thank you from the US government and from USAID, and we look forward to continuing our strong partnership to support Minagri's vision of a prosperous and healthy Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jessica. Thank you for the commitment as well. I would like also to invite now Mr. Pascal Zahonero, Program Officer of the European Union. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister, distinguished participant. I will also thank you very much, Minagri and respective agencies, for the great organization of this seminar, and also all participants for the very interesting inputs and intense discussion you had during these past 2 days. It's quite a very complete work done, so I will be also quite short and just noted some specific point representing today's European Union. What we have been noted is the importance also to consider to have the PSTA5 and the NDC target to be fully aligned. Is quite important. This will need quite a lot of coordination between different ministries, but it's a real issue because we can expect in the next months and years an increase of resources from different green fund, IMF climate fund, the future IREME fund. So we can expect to have more resources coming to the agricultural sector in the climate smart agriculture. Now there is a building of a pipeline for climate smart agriculture that is going to be presented by Rwanda to the next COP28. So all the different initiatives will bring more funds in the sector, so we have to be ready all together for implementation and considering also all these different aspects. I really also want to underline some issues raised, I think, yesterday around this table on the need to have also evidences, more evidences on climate change. We need to have better evidences and modelization to really know what will be the changes in Rwanda, to be able to adapt our practices, farmer practices. We need to have more evidences on this aspect. I really agree with Vicky and our colleague from Agra. Soil fertility is also a really, really important issue, and important also of organic matter management is really also something like a real challenge. I also wanted to note what we've been underlined yesterday about farmer professionalization. Is also really important. EU LuxDev will work on this aspect to support TVET and the Center of Excellence. There is a program under formulations really to have a real support for better professionalization in agriculture sector, specifically for women. So we really emphasize on this support. Under access to finance, I'm really also interested that yesterday to see about the other part of the coin, to say that we need also at the bank level to have reinforcement of skills and capacities. So I know that now for some months, for example, Bank of Kigali is having recruitment to have really specialized people in agriculture. So they now have an agricultural department able to understand the challenge from the farmers and from the businessmen involved in the agricultural sector and the SMEs. So now, based on this, the European Investment Bank has just launched a 50 million euros credit line, revolving fund. So it's about 67 billion Rwanda francs, specifically for agricultural and environmental projects. So having this support to the bank and having this, the commercial and developing these capacities is really giving also result. I won't be much long. Just for trade and value chain development, we expect that the program with NAEB and with the Netherlands Embassy and with EU on the development of Kigali wholesale market will be an expecting solution to support the fresh product value chain. We are also working with Belgium on the aquaculture and horticulture to really support this value chain. So we expect that the Kigali wholesale market will be a solution or part of the solution for the next. And just for digitalization, I think it's good also to support the existing initiative that, for example, on agroforestry, a dashboard application on dashboard has been developing with the Rwanda Forestry Authority, with the district sectors trainings to really improve the following and the planning of the agroforestry. So I think all these different commitment also from you, from member states. We committed to support the PSTA5 and to support all the agricultural sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pascal. Thank you for the continuous support of the EU. I would like to invite now Nicolas Oberlin, Deputy Country Director of the World Food Programme. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and distinguished guests and participants. First of all, I want to really congratulate Minagri and all the partners for this very rich and stimulating seminar that took place here, and for the excellent work that got us to this zero draft stage of the PSTA5 process. The strategy, we believe, will be instrumental to improve the lives and the livelihoods of the majority of the people in this country, and as such, we really believe this work led to a holistic and visionary first draft, and we've heard all the ground covered from the Permanent Secretary earlier. We were very impressed with how clearly the strategy is framed to address food security, and also by the clear shift towards promoting resilience for food systems. As WFP, we really believe in resilience, not only because WFP has a double mandate of emergency assistance when it comes to food security and for development, but because being resilient is obviously the right thing to be as a system, which is what we're working on, and as a people, as a country, in fact. I really want to say here that you can continue to rely on WFP as an active partner to help develop Rwandan food systems in the coming years. There's been a strong consensus here that work to strengthen the food system has to be demand or market driven. This is precisely the approach that the World Food Programme has adopted in the work we do with over 120,000 smallholder farmers in this country. We commit here to continuing to work with you to identify markets, off-takers and buyers for smallholder farmers, and to continue supporting farmers to get their systems and skills ready to sell high-quality produce. Actually, WFP itself acts as a buyer. We purchase food in this country valued at around $50 million annually to supply our operations in the entire region. We also commit to develop better and more innovative services for smallholder farmers through what we call farmer service centers. These are youth-led businesses and therefore also a way to provide meaningful jobs for youth, which is very critical in the entire food system. I believe someone mentioned yesterday the need to unlock the power of cooperatives for innovation, and this was again mentioned today. We are very much interested to partner with you all in doing innovation in practice. We've developed what we call the Ignite Food Systems Challenge. That's an ongoing challenge, and we are very interested to continue such ventures and to welcome you all into it. WFP is supporting Rwanda and governments across the region, in fact, to navigate the climate crisis. We congratulate the bold integration of climate resilience into this PSTA5. We integrate actually this dimension in the work we do with the 120,000 farmers I mentioned before. We co-chair the Regenerative and Conservation Agriculture Coalition, which comprises 14 organizations engaged in hands-on conservation agriculture work in this country. So together with these 14 partners and many others, we are also excited to work with you on this. I also want to say that do not forget about Rwanda's food system game changer, which we believe is the National School Feeding Program. This major program creates probably the biggest institutional, stable, predictable market for farmers and processors in Rwanda. Thanks to the school feeding program, it has become much less relevant, actually, to complain about the lack of markets, to uplift the food system, to encourage the production of nutritious foods, to create demand for healthy food, to improve dietary habits, and most importantly, this is starting with children, So we believe this is a major achievement, and the world is actually watching Rwanda on this, and hopefully get inspired as well. In relation to this, the inclusion of the nutrition-sensitive pillar in the draft document is very important to us and to many, as we've heard today. We need to tackle nutrition issues in this country, such as stunting, most importantly, and we need to do that intentionally and not as an afterthought, as was highlighted during the discussion by UNICEF and other colleagues. Finally, we clearly agreed here that the implementation of the PSTA5, and we've heard it again now, has to be informed by comprehensive and high-quality data. WFP has collaborated with the government and many of the partners here to conduct food security monitoring, assessments, and all kinds of surveys, including on pricing. So this data is still necessary, and the document probably needs to clearly outline where the data will come from during the course of the PSTA5, so we can monitor the effectiveness of all the investments that we are committing to. WFP is strongly committed on this chapter to working with Minagri, NESR, and partners to produce this data in an innovative and forward-looking way to serve all the needs of the sector. In conclusion, I mean, I can say, like my colleagues, that we will be very happy to continue working with all of you to further develop this key strategy and, of course, to make it happen on the ground. I want to congratulate the government of Rwanda and all of you for the great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you for the points. We are going to one of our research partners. I would like to invite the representative of one CGRR, Dr. Eliud Birachi, country representative, biodiversity and SIAT. Let's welcome him.
Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, we have the honor to be here and to participate in this event. On behalf of the CG being a group of centers involved in international agricultural research, which has 14 centers, and a number of them are already here: IFPRI, IITA, SIAT, Biodiversity, ILRI, SIP, among others. We are very honored to be associated with this process of coming up with this PSTA5. From what has been presented, it aligns very strongly to what we also aspire to contribute to. For example, the recently remodeled, I would say the CG, focuses on key impact areas which include climate adaptation and mitigation, environmental health and biodiversity, gender equality, youth and social inclusion, nutrition, health and food security, poverty reduction, livelihoods and jobs. These are the impact areas that we aspire to contribute to through our research. So to be able to effectively contribute to this, we work through research programs that include systems transformation, which also talks to a lot of the key pillars that have been mentioned here. Resilient agri-food systems, also, which has been also very much referred to here, and genetic innovations. Now, for the genetic innovations, this goes to what our colleague, for example, Agra, has just mentioned. Generating commodities and livestock breeds that respond to the changes within the countries. For example, biofortification is key. We need to contribute to nutrition. Having appropriate methods of maybe also contributing to the way the knowledge from research can reach the different users. We work with partnerships, whom we can refer to as scaling partners. We do not go out, we are very few, but we are happily collaborating with also a number of you, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Rwanda Agriculture Board, to ensure that the innovations that we contribute to, the research, the technologies are able to reach the users and not just sit on the shelves. So we look forward to really contributing through our research, through data, through innovations, through capacity building, which has been also mentioned a lot here, such that our key partners are also equipped and that they are able to contribute to this PSTA5. And we thank you very much and looking forward to an exciting journey on this PSTA5. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Eliud. As we end the commitment and speeches from the development partners, I would like to end with the World Bank. I would like to invite Ms. Osa, who is also the co-chair of the Agriculture Sector Working Group. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, and our sector colleagues, Maramutse. It's been a great pleasure participating in this event these past 3 days, and I really echo my colleagues in that this has been an extremely rewarding event. And I, by this, want to congratulate really the Honorable Minister, DJ Chantal, and all the organizers, and including the rapporteurs, because I think they did a great job. I think it's rare to have had so many different types of actors and voices in one room, and also to really give them the time to speak, and I appreciate this. I think also that the level of participation and engagement during these past 3 days is a sign of an incredible interest in the strategy and also a willingness to contribute. I believe the ministry has gotten a lot of valuable inputs and ideas these days, as I will say, have we. The World Bank is, of course, a committed partner in this, a partner in financing the government's programs and also just technical support. But I wanted to share a few reflections as also the co-chair of the Agriculture Sector Working Group. I think for me a big takeaway has been that many of the topics that are central in the PSTA5, like the food systems approach, the climate resilient agriculture, nutrition, and even the agricultural transformation agenda, are multi-sectoral and really requires a well-coordinated collaboration between ministries. I think that such collaboration should ideally be guided by a sort of a framework that is well anchored in the NST2. We also heard that these topics shouldn't be siloed within the PSTA5, but that policies and interventions needs to be well aligned to achieve the objectives of each of these areas. Another aspect that I think has come out is the finding the right balance between public and private sector investments, both as a necessity for the sector to attract financing that is needed to reach the objective for growth, poverty reduction, and the middle income status, but also just to ensure that private sector investments are not crowded out by the public sector support. All of this requires partnerships, and I think that this event has been a fantastic starting point for such collaboration. I think the collaboration is not only between the ministry and different actors, but also between all of us for the successful implementation of PSTA5. So, Turikume.
Thank you to the World Bank. That's a good way of ending the commitments. So before we close, as we wrap up, trying to keep up with time, I would like to invite one last person before we welcome the Honorable Minister, the farmer representative, who also have a commitment to make on behalf of farmers as we go to this new year. Gafaranga, you're welcome. Let's welcome him.
Murakoze. Nyakubahwa Ministre, murakoze cyane kuba muduhaye ijambo ngo natwe tugire ibyo twiyemeza. Cyakora ndabwira Eric dusabire imbabazi inshuti zacu z'abafatanyabikorwa ndi kuvuga batumva no kubera ko abahinzi tutarunguka cyane, ariko ubu dufite commitment yo kwiga izo ndimi, Icyongereza n'Igifaransa n'izindi kugira ngo tuze tuvugana neza n'abafatanyabikorwa. Murakoze rero Nyakubahwa Ministre, turashima cyane by'umwihariko Perezida wa Repubulika mu bikorwa byinshi by'iterambere adukorera, by'umwihariko twebwe tw'abahinzi tubona leta y'u Rwanda iyobowe na Perezida Paul Kagame idufasha cyane kugira ngo dutere intambwe. Iyo muduha inkunga y'amafumbire, mukaduha inkunga y'ubwishingizi mu buhinzi, mukadushakira abafatanyabikorwa na commitment bamaze gufata, burya ni imibanire myiza muba mwaratubaniye aho hejuru, cyane cyane umukuru w'igihugu. Murakoze cyane rero nyakubahwa ministre ko mwatumiye muri iyi nama. Ntabwo ari ubwa mbere, turabashimira ko Minagri igihe cyose ikoze inama itumiramwo abahinzi. Baradutumiye rero, mwaradutumiye rero, turabashimira. Kandi twagize igihe cyo kuvuga ibibazo, mwaduhaye ijambo, muduha umwanya wo kuvuga ibibazo dufite ndetse no gutanga ibitekerezo uko twifuza ko byakorwa. Nyakubahwa ministre, turabashimira ko mudutega amatwi. Ndibuka ko ubushize mwaje no mu ntara yacu, turaganira, muratwumva, dutanga ibitekerezo kandi bihabwa agaciro. Icyo nibagiye kuvuga, wenda nibagiye kuvuga ko ndi Gafaranga Joseph, nkaba ndi umuhinzi w'ibirayi, ibigori n'ibishyimbo n'ubworozi bw'inkoko. Nkaba mpinga mu karere ka Musanze, mu ntara y'Amajyaruguru, akarere ka Musanze, umurenge wa Cyuve, akagari ka Buruba. Turashima kandi n'abafatanyabikorwa. Igihe abahinzi twatangaga ibitekerezo mu nama, turimo by'umwihariko muri iyi nama, nyakubahwa ministre wasangaga abafatanyabikorwa badushyigikiye. Twe rero nk'abahinzi twabonye ko muri inshuti zacu. Hari ibitekerezo twatanze, hari ibyashyizwemo hariya, hari n'ibitarashyizwemo, ariko muri kubitwigira. Uko tuzakomeza gufatanya turi kubyiganaho, niko tuzabona umuti ukwiye. Commitment rero twe dufashe nk'abahinzi, nibwo buzima bwacu. Twiyemeje guhinga ubutaka bwose buhari, ntitugire ibirare kandi dufite inzara. Turiyemeza dukurikije ubushobozi dufite n'inama mutugira kongera umusaruro, kandi biracyashoboka. Hari aho tugifite intege nke mu ikoreshwa ry'ifumbire y'imborera, mu mbuto z'indobanure, mu ikoreshwa ry'ishwagara n'ibindi bihingwa. N'ibindi bikorwa tugomba gukora ni byinshi, ariko turiyemeza kukubahiriza amabwiriza muzaduha kugira ngo tubeho kandi twongere umusaruro, tuwugire mwiza nk'uko abafatanyabikorwa bagenda batwigisha, kandi nibishoboka tuwugurishe ku giciro cyiza, ku rwego rwacu, kidahenze abafatanyabikorwa ari bo bakiriya bacu. Murakoze rero, tuzakomeza gufatanya, turabizi ko natwe tuzakomeza gufatanya, kandi turashima ko ubufatanye dufite bwakomeza binyuze mu bahinzi, mu miryango y'abahinzi, twese nk'abafatanyabikorwa tukungurana ibitekerezo, byanze bikunze nubwo ibibazo bitazarangiye ko buri mwaka tuzaja dutera intambwe, kandi muri PSTA5 tuzafatanya kurushaho kugira ngo buri wese, cyane cyane twebwe abahinzi, ibitureba tubikore nubwo intege zikiri nkeya, noneho tunarebe n'icyo twagezeho igihe PSTA5 izaba irangiye, kugira ngo twese dufatanye mu iterambere, kandi abahinzi natwe tugire imibereho myiza nk'iy'abandi bakozi. Murakoze nyakubahwa ministre.
Murakoze Joseph. So the farmers and considering their voice in the drafting and development of this strategy. He also thanked the development partners. They've been working with partners different ways, with seeds, with fertilizers, and many assistance they've received, so they acknowledge it and thank you for that. And he also pledged that as farmer, they will continue to do the work that they are known for, the cultivation of land, but not only land, all land, to ensure that we don't have idle lands in the country, and to also increase production. Thank you for the commitment. Now, before we invite the Honorable Minister, there's something on the screen for you. Those who are here, I know it's a bit hard because there's a banana on your way. But if you can look past it, you'll see these are the logos of different organizations that has helped, especially with the organization of the PSTA5 knowledge seminar, because we know many partners are still with us in different ways, but especially with this specific event, I would like to acknowledge them. Of course, Minagri and the whole team that is here, thank you, but you probably don't need to be thanked. You are driving the whole thing, and you'll continue to do that. We have the MasterCard Foundation, we have AGRA, we have FAO. They've not been able to come, but they are there. We have GAN, one of our new development partners that has joined the team recently with an MOU. We have academia, we have the World Bank, we have the EU, we have IFPRI, we have the WFP, written in French there, we have USAID, you have UNICEF, we have CGRR, we have Hinga Wunguke, we have the UN Women, we have the Food Action Alliance, we have AXUM, and of course the United Nations, who was also represented on the first day. And for anyone who did not probably put your logo there, you know that we carry you in our hearts. So thank you for being part of us, for your work, and the work is continuous, so it's not ending today, but more will be said as we close this event. So I would like you to help me welcome the Honorable Minister, Dr. Ildefonse Musafiri, for the closing words of the seminar. Good afternoon.
So good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
Distinguished guests, partners, friends, I come to the end of this successful knowledge sharing event that we have been having since 22nd. To be honest, I was very skeptic and very pessimistic during the preparations, and I didn't know that we can have 250 plus delegates for 3 days. But people we're discussing with in our office were saying, but let's give it a try. And I was saying, let's take 1 day or two. But now today you proved me I was wrong. So then I'm very happy, and I would like to thank people who really worked on this with total energy, including, but not limited to the PS of our ministry, Olivier Kamana, and our DG of Planning, Chantal. I really thank you so much for organizing this successful event. You would want to be surprised because I'll start with you, though you are from the kitchen, but at least you invited the people. And then people now are here. And then we are all happy because if you, in Rwanda, when you organize a party or a wedding or something, the most important thing is not to invite or to prepare or to cook, is to have the people coming, attending, and eat your food. If they don't come, and then you cook already, so what will happen? So thank you for honoring our invitation, and I would like to only express my thanks to all participants here. We have displayed people with their organization, with their logos, and some others in our hats. But all of you, you know that we express our heartfelt gratitude for participating in this useful event. Most of you, you spend your money. We thank you for your money spent on this and this room, the lunches we are sharing, and we thank you for your knowledge. So it was a knowledge sharing seminar. Thank you for sharing knowledge with us. And but most importantly, thank you for your partnership because we know you are still here with us. And thank you for your time. 3 days, we promise we don't take this as granted. I would like to thank you all again for the time you spend here, for your discipline. So I have seen there are a lot of temptation sitting there. Bananas are here, sugar canes are here, and no one just came just to grab a banana. Me, I skipped yesterday because I was tempted this first day. But now today, I think after my speech, everybody is allowed to come and pick one and go home and do something. So thank you for this patience, so you can resist. Maybe you prove that you can't eat before you finish the job. Now I'm coming here to tell you that the job is over. Now you can start eating a banana and the sugar cane, so to have more energy for the future. So let me thank also the participants from Rwanda and from abroad. People have traveled far to come and support us in this knowledge seminar. And let's give a special thanks to our sister ministries who support us in this, the Minister of Trade, the Minister of Local Government, but most importantly, let me see the representative of local government here. Mayors, vice mayors, and other senior officials from the district. I want them to stand up. They are very special for us. Yes, so these are very important people for us because without them, everything we do, everything we implement, they won't reach our people. Thank you for coming, and we really wanted you to participate because at the end, you are the one to go and inform people we are planning for what we want them to achieve. So thank you for coming. And I'm sure we keep interacting on these ideas and those who are not mentioned, and we make sure that you also bring most of ideas and the farmers' cooperatives and the farmers' representatives. Thank you for coming. So we are at the moment where at least someone can be proud or be happy to stand in the position we are standing today. In a position to coordinate the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources, which is a scary ministry, to be honest. But this time, in this particular period, when I have you around, dear partners and colleagues, I feel I can have now my feet on the ground because I have you. So we are coming at a moment where at least everybody understands that agriculture is key. And you partners in the room, those displayed on the logo, those who come to support us either with their knowledge or their money, like MasterCard and others, FAO, AGRA and others, European Union. So beyond that, I would like to thank you because you selected the right sector. The right sector, the sector that matters for our people's lives and for ourselves even. So first of all, I would like to reiterate again, to prove you that you choose the right sector to interact or to act or to intervene. First of all, I would like to come back to the role of agriculture again in our lives and the economy and everything. First of all, we value this sector because we believe agriculture is a means to provide livelihoods. And I always say it, as in Rwanda, we are 13.2 million people. And more than 70% we drive their livelihoods in agriculture. So you can have a living, you can survive or live or secure your basic needs through agriculture. Second, it's an economic activity. So beyond the livelihoods, you can make money. If you didn't know, now it's time to know it. You know this guy who came here called Gafaranga. So the name means money. And he's a farmer of everything. So then he believes, you know how smart he is? So that means he's doing agriculture as an economic activity. And there's a good example that all farmers can be like him. 3, we believe that we can eliminate poverty through agriculture. Agriculture is a means of poverty alleviation. We don't have a shortcut. If you have more than 69% of households in Rwanda engaged or working in agriculture, so we have that means. We can eliminate 70% of our poverty through agriculture. And this also entails the point I've been discussing since day one about stunting. Eliminating stunting starts from the farm. Choosing the right crops, choosing the right diet and how we consume and how we prepare our plate. And the age, when do we start eating? When we are still in our mother's womb until we are born, 2 years, 3 years, and until we grow up. So because this is the only way, and the basis is a good practice in agriculture. And last but not least, is that agriculture is even a provider of environmental services. This I want to ensure even environmentalists, because some people believe that agriculture is here to destroy the environment or to pollute or to cause erosion. But this is only one pessimistic view. I would like to present the optimistic view of agriculture. Agriculture provides the good services, even the carbon sequestration, all our crops across the world, across the country. The trees, they are there to support environment, to support us, to sequestrate carbon, and we have a good use of our crops of agriculture to the environment. So then I would want to ensure the environmentalists that there is no harm if you support agriculture and you can achieve our goals together. Over the past 3 days, including this one, we really got very considerable input towards our PSTA5. And we spoke, and the PS showed us the outcome of these discussions in nutrition, in climate resilient production, both crops and livestock, in agriculture finance, trade and value chain development, planning of food systems and data. I would like to just add a small thing. Like one thing is I want to change something that has been always said. Maybe if I can try, let me give it a try. You know, one of the issue, the solution that you came up with in the discussions that were very fruitful, I first of all concur with all the recommendations that were given, that as presented in each of the pillars, and I'm sure they will feed us as we developing further our strategic plan for agricultural transformation 5. First of all, I want to come on one point where he said that to de-risk agriculture, to ensure that people do agriculture finance, we need to de-risk and provide government subsidies to the farmers. I want to give a try today, maybe, and start a campaign to change this name we call a subsidy. What if we call it productive investment? Because when we mention the word subsidy, if I'm helping farmers to acquire a tractor, if I'm supporting a farmer to acquire a baler, or to build a drying shed, or to do irrigation, if I'm supporting the farmer if I give him or her chicken or cow and everything, so we call it a subsidy. But I would like to, and then most of our partners don't like to hear these words. And because now the private, the markets and everything, nobody is liking the word subsidy. So let's call it them maybe government productive investment that we do together with the farmers. Because we do it with the intention to move them forward. We do it with the intention to increase productivity and to achieve these economic gains on the farm. So then this time, if I can give a try, then now we won't call it a subsidy, it's that we're investing together, co-investing with the farmers to make sure we increase productivity and we achieve what we need to achieve in the livestock transformation, and as long as we are striving to the food system transformation. Second, I would like to also add something on the recommendations. We try to change the narrative. Someone committed here to keep promoting the small-scale farming. I agree. And most of our pillars are focusing on small-scale farming. But we want to try to try something again. Beyond that, until when we will keep talking about small-scale farming? Until when we will still talking about small-scale farmers? Some organizations, I think many, all of them, most of them, I don't know about others, but some like World Bank and FAO and others, most of them are older than I am. But all of them, those who are acting in agriculture, you see in their appearance, they want to scale up, to promote, or to increase the lives of smallholder farmers. But look at me, I'm 45. Small-scale farmers are still struggling. I don't know if we keep talking about small-scale farming, if we want to move faster, if we want to reach our 2050 vision, if we want to make our country a high-income country. So I want to try another scenario. What if now, in our PSTA5, we also tried the large-scale farming, professional farming? What if now our support, we divide our support? Maybe let me say, let's start maybe 50-50. 50-50 small-scale farming, but another 50 large-scale farming. And give the considerable support to the large-scale farming, because most of us who have been in agricultural schools, we know that farmers adopt new technologies, use a lot of fertilizers in the required amount, use improved inputs when they are doing their activities on large farms. And you have a proof evidence theory in Rwanda where people who we call large-scale farmers, they adopt improved inputs at 80%, while small-scale farmers, they only adopt at 30%. And then that means those who adopt new improved input, they are likely to have higher productivity. If we want to move, I want to try something new. Let's see, can we also, the commitment we are doing, or the PSTA5 are we bringing in, can we now also have a focus on large-scale farming? Because with large-scale farming, we can be sure we can feed our people faster and increase productivity and provide jobs. AGRA want to provide 500,000 jobs to our youth, but I'm sure they want a small-scale farmer is someone who has like a plot of this room. This one will not hire more than 2 people. We need someone who can hire more than 2,000 people. And this one needs at least 200 hectares. And we want to change the narrative. We want to try something new. And we want to see how can we promote large-scale farming. And that brings number 3. And then this number 3, and that will lead us to the private-led agriculture. I don't see if we need to transform the food systems in Rwanda. I don't see that the government will keep sitting in the driving seat. Maybe we can go to the passenger seat, but allow the private sector take the lead. That's the only way we can achieve all our goals of job creation, food security, nutrition, and then economic growth. And we know that most of economic growth in Rwanda, the majority or secondary contributor is agriculture. And let's be deliberate. That was my few additions that we also bring to the discussion. But let me close again by thanking you all for your time, your dedication, for your participation, your attention, your discipline. And I hope to see you soon again. And I would like to wish you the nice weekend. And first of all, at the end, let again, as I already said, let there be food in Rwanda and in the entire world. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. With these words, we close a 3-long-day knowledge seminar. Thank you to all for your time, your patience, your commitment, time investment, and what you will be doing for the future. As we heard from the Minister, he added his input on the table, which the rapporteur and everybody has to take in heart, as well as the development partners and everyone involved into the sector. I would like just to say 2 additional things for housekeeping. So first, lunch is ready. So as we end where we usually take it, so there is lunch. The second, we have what we call the agriculture sector working group. So if you want to be part of the conversation and continue with us throughout this, please give us your email, inform us of your interest as organization, send us the name of the people you would like to be represented so that we can actually have them on our email list for future events and regular discussion that we continue to have. So please do not hesitate to do that. You can contact me, Dr. Chantal, or you can just write to us formally by using the Minagri, the ministry official email, info@minagri.gov RW, expressing your interest to be part of the agriculture sector working group. And as we've heard, this is the end, but as we say, the end of one chapter is usually the beginning of another chapter. And I remember there's an old book in its Genesis. The author said, "Let be light." And the minister has asked us, let's just use another word for light, let there be food. So that's the new chapter in which we are going. And I just want to see if you are resonating with what the minister has said. Can we say it together in the room? Let there be. You're too hungry. Let's try again. Let's try again. I just want to see if you committed to that and if it vibes with you. All right? 1, 2, 3. Let there be food. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Let's try it for the last time, the third time, but say it with conviction. Say it as if you mean it. All right? Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Let there be food. Thank you very much. My name is Eric Gatera, CTA, Minagri. Stay in touch with us.